हेलो एवरीवन। सो आज हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे अबाउट लैटिट्यूड्स एंड लॉन्गिट्यूड्स। लैटिट्यूड्स जो होते हैं वो कुछ हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइंस होती हैं एंड दे आर इमेजिनरी इन नेचर। दीज लाइंस आर नॉट those lines which physically exist on earth. These lines are not like mountains which do physically exist on earth. These are some imaginary lines which have been designed by the geographers for studying the earth properly. Let's say for knowing about the climate, for oceanography purposes. There are various things in which latitudes helps us. So for these purpose, geographers have designed these imaginary lines. So as we can see, there are numerous lines on the surface of the earth which are known as latitudes. These are horizontal in nature. So looking at this figure, we can see that this horizontal line is known as equator, and this line passes from the center of the earth. It is considered that this line passes from the center of the earth. So it divides earth into two halves. This is known as equator. But there are a number of other horizontal lines which are designed on this earth. How are we going to decide that what is the angle this line has? So to know that this latitude is a 45 degree, how we are going to know this? um, let's say this is the point. We have to join the center of the earth by this point. So joining this point and the angle this line forming with the equator line would decide that how much angle um, this latitude of the angle of the latitude would be determined by the angle formed between this line and this line. So this will help us to know the angle of the latitude. So this way there are number of latitudes are formed over the surface of the earth. They play a very important role in knowing the climate of any place. Say this the South American countries, what is the we can guess it that what can be the temperature at this place. Let's say there is some latitude which is passing through our country and also passes through North America, let's say. So we can know it easily that what can be the climate there. It helps in the prediction works. So it play a very important role by this way. So looking at the top view of this figure, we can see that it forms like some concentric circles. How does it form? So the lines which we are going to see in the front view of this figure, we can see the straight lines. But when we are going to see this at the top view, as the earth is a sphere, so this line would form a circle. So there are number of concentric circles would be formed depending on a particular latitude. But these circles would not be of the same radius. As Earth is a sphere, these circles would be of different radius. So this is latitude. Moving ahead, so here it is, and there are a number of other lines, other vertical lines like the latitudes we have seen. Same here, number of longitudinal lines are also here. It plays a very important role in knowing the time zone of any country. So this is followed by every country of the globe to know the time of any place. Now, how do we calculate that what is the longitude of a particular region? As we have already discussed that this vertical line which passes through Greenwich, UK is known as prime meridian. So this prime meridian is a vertical line over the equator. It will collide equator at some point at the center. So this is the point. Then just by this with the help of this line, if we want to calculate the angle from any other point um, for knowing that what will be the longitudinal angle of any other meridian line, then we can calculate it this way. Let's say this is the vertical line, this is the point, and we are going to match it with the point where it joins with the equator. So here it joins with the equator. By this way we can calculate that what is the longitudinal angle. It will be just perpendicular on the equatorial surface. So by taking the cross-sectional area, we can decide that what would be the angle of longitudinal lines. Moving ahead, here it is the international date line. So international date line plays an important role to know that uh, what the date will be in any country. So let's say we are moving from west of international date line. This is international date line, and let's say we are moving to the west of this line. To the west of this line, then we are going to lose one day. But if we are moving if we are moving to east of ideal, then one day will be gained. So it's because as per the time zones, there is a difference of 12 hours. 12 hours got crossed here, so that's why one day is lost if you are going to move to the west of ideal, and if you are going to move to the east of ideal, you're going to gain one day. And next question is why this international date lining zigzag? So it is zigzag because let's say there is a country and it has number of small islands, and uh, so because of this, if these islands, some islands would be on one side and some islands would be on the other side, it lead to some conflict in the date, like this will be on different date, these islands would be on different date. So to avoid this, date line is zigzag in nature so that every single country should have single date. So that is how international date line works. I hope you understand the video well. Thank you for watching.